So what do you think went wrong tonight?
Everything. I mean, they are who they are, man. It's what they do.
Damian, how would you describe this season?
I'd say underwhelming, just frustrating. You know, there's a lot of things. Is never being fully healthy, never being able to put a consistent stretch together. And, you know, it was just a season full of ups and downs and, you know, not really any moments of consistency.
How do you reconcile having the individual year that you had with career highs across the board with team success not following?
I mean, at this point, you don't, you know. I think for me, I always go into the offseason and I come into every season trying to do whatever I can to make that turn into winning. And I think this year, you know, I did think I had my best year individually, but it didn't lead to wins. So I don't think it's really any way for me to reconcile with that. You know, I'm still going into the summer like, man, how did that happen? You know, and I always look in the mirror and I look at myself and I wonder, you know, what I could have did better. You know, where could I have hurt the team? What could have gone differently where it would have been more in our benefit as a team? And, you know, that's the battle that I always face, you know, when it doesn't work out and I did well in a game or in a season. So it's just tough. You know, it didn't lead to what you would like for it to lead to.
Dave, before the injuries, looking back on it, what were you guys lacking this year?
I'm not sure. I think it would be easier to say if we had been able to put together more of a consistent time, but I think we won our first 4 games, and then I strained my calf in our 5th game. And then during that stretch, I think Justice got hurt, and we never had Gary. And then I came back, and a couple other guys, I think Nurk was out when I came back. Jeremy missed a game when I came back. And then I was out again, and then from that point on, it just seemed like we were never whole, you know, and it was just up and down at that point. And I remember a time early in the season where I was just saying, you know, we gotta keep a winning spirit, and we got to keep that feeling and that energy that we had to start the season. And you know, we kind of dug ourselves into a ditch where we started to lose games, and I just don't think we was able to find that spirit again, you know, to feel good about ourselves and go into every game where it was like expecting to win. I think we were just out there, you know, trying to get off the hook, you know, trying to find a way to win. And in the beginning, it wasn't like that. The energy wasn't like that. So I just don't think we ever found it again.
Do you see a plan in place here?
Do I see a plan?
Yeah.
I mean, I see a road to, you know, what we could do, but you know, it's a difference in we can do this and we can do that and actually doing it. So,
Are you confident that something can be done to change this roster to the point where you feel like you can lead it to?
I mean, I'm always optimistic. You know what I mean? You know, I think I've been in the league long enough to know that, you know, things don't always work out the way you want to see it work out. It's a lot of moving pieces. So I feel like over the last few years, I go into it with, you know, these high expectations of, all right, it's going to be different, you know. And obviously, I feel how I feel about Chauncey. I feel how I feel about Joe. And I feel how I feel about myself, you know what I mean? But, you know, I think the optimism is there. You know, I feel optimistic about it, but I think it's just time to just get the work done, you know, for all of us.
Last year, you guys were obviously going after Jeremy. Are there guys on your list that you feel like you're going to obviously go after? I'm not expecting you to name them, but are there guys out there like Jeremy where you're thinking, yeah, we can get that guy?
Absolutely. I mean, I know it's guys that want to do it. And I'll just say that. I know it's guys that really move the needle, that want to do it, but knowing that and then actually making something happen to make that a reality is a completely separate thing.
Dave, is there any difference between how you felt, say, 2 years ago when urgency was kind of the buzzword with you? You wanted to see, you know, dramatic steps towards winning. Has anything changed between now and then?
No. I think, I mean, the only reason I played for a chance to win, you know what I mean? And, you know, I really don't know what else to say, you know what I mean?
What is different with how you feel today compared to when you were kind of up against it and asking the organization for that urgency?
I think then I was more emotional about it, and now I'm not as emotional about it. Now I'm just like, it either will be or it will not be, and you know, I think that's the biggest difference.
The team's put itself in a position to have potentially a really high lottery pick in this draft, and you know, there's guys at the top of the draft who are seen as real transcendent talents, but those guys are still like 19 years old. Do you have an appetite for building that way if it's, you know, a 19-year-old player through the draft, or does it need to be?
I don't have much of an appetite for building and, you know, guys 2 and 3 years away from really going after it, you know what I'm saying? And, you know, I think we get Shaden at 19 and he's just different, you know what I'm saying? I think just being around him, his disposition, you know what I mean, how he listens, his frame, his natural talent, and his ability, I think, you know, that's enough 19-year-olds, you know what I'm saying? And you probably won't find one that will come along the way he has. But, you know, I just ain't interested in that, you know, being honest. And this is not a secret, you know what I mean? I want a chance to go for it. And if the route is to do that, then, you know, that's not my route. So, you know, I think we all in line with doing what we got to do to put a team together that we can actually go out there and get something done. You know what I mean?
What are your expectations for Summerlin game?
I thought that was what I just said. Ain't that what I just explained?
Well, specifically, you expect a big trade? If you're not looking for a 19-year-old in the draft, then we're assuming then a big trade of some sort.
Yeah, I think that would be the only route to doing that. I'm confused at the question.
Dame, is there any what?
I thought what I just said was very clear.
Dame, is there what are you taking away from the season positively?
I think that we know who we are. You know, as we stand now, we know what we have. And for me, I take away from it knowing that, you know, I'm at the top of my game. And, you know, I think those are you know, anytime you don't make the play-in, you miss the playoffs, you miss the play-in, I think you got to look at where you stand and you got to see, you know, what are the positives, what are the strong spots of what you have. And I think we saw that. You know, we saw the spots that are highlighted. You know, some guys came into their own. And I think coming off of last season, it was a question of whether I was healthy or not or anything like that. And I think we know the answer to that too. So I think now it's time to just push forward and really push forward. And
What else do you think we know about this team? What else do you think we know about this team? You said we know about.
I think we know that we got some talented guys. You know, we have a lot of guys with ability. And, you know, when you look around the league, is the teams that are the best teams, you look around, you see ability as well. You see toughness. You see understanding. You see IQ. You see togetherness. You see consistency. You see toughness. And you see that consistently from those teams. And I think we've had it in spots. We haven't been consistent at those things. So I think you look at our team and where do we get that from? Where can we add it at? And you try to add to those pieces and put a complete team together.
What's your assessment of Chauncey as a coach?
I think Chauncey's he's a thinker, you know what I mean? And I think as a coach, he he puts that type of pressure on the team. You know, he demands a lot. I think he's a player's coach. He gives you freedom. I think he's sharp. I think he loves the game. I think he wants to win as a coach. You know, I think he shows up as a coach. He prepares the team. The things that I see in him as a coach, I think we can win with. You know, I think it's a learning curve and getting comfortable doing it just like anything else. You know, it's his first 2 years as a coach, but I think as we have been the last 2 years, you know, as our roster has been, you know, the way he coaches, I don't think it was best suited for him.
You guys obviously didn't go the way you guys planned, but is the bond with you and Jeremy strong enough that you expect him to be back? He's obviously free after this.
Yeah, I mean, I expect him to be back.
No, that was what I was going to ask.
All right.